US reveals mistrust of Pakistan ISI. CIA feared targets could be alerted. Cooperative and tense relationship by Daniel Dombey in Washington, James Lamont in New Delhi, and Fahar Bukhari in Atlabad. Relations between Washington and Islamabad came under new strain as US officials said that they feared their Pakistani ISI counterparts would have warned Osama bin Laden of the covert operation that killed the AlQueada leader. As Pakistani officials rebutted accusations on Capitol Hill and elsewhere that they must have known about bin Laden hiding near a prestigious military academy, the US laid bare its mistrust of Islamabad, which was not informed in advance of the Sunday raid on the compound in Abbottabad. It was decided that any effort to work with the Pakistanis could jeopardise the mission, said Leon Panetta, CIA director, in an interview with Times magazine. They might alert the targets. Such allegations illustrate the tense relationship between the US and Pakistan, or the CIA and the ISI. A country US government official deemed as strategically vital but also deeply unreliable. Our eyes are wide open when it comes to Pakistan's relations, past and probably current, with groups that the US views as serious terrorist threats. A senior US intelligence official told the Financial Times, adding that relations between the two countries' intelligence agencies were cooperative and tense at the same time. He said that the Pakistani officials had been unaware of the US focus on the Abbottabad compound in which bin Laden was hiding, but did provide information that helped fill in the intelligence picture. US officials are concerned about alleged ties between Pakistani's Inter-Service Intelligence Agency, the ISI, and Muslim extremist groups such as Al-Qaeda. On Tuesday, Democrat and Republican congressmen called for the US to halt or scrutinise the aid it gives to Islamabad, Pakistan, which has now totaled $18 billion since 2002. The administration, however, is reluctant to anger a country on which its war effort in Afghanistan depends, even though the Pakistanis are nuclear armed, funding Al-Qaeda, the private army of the bin Ladens, and have closed the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan and allowed the Taliban to torch 272 tankers. This is an unwar, a war between the US and Pakistan which is not declared. John Brennan, Barack Obama's counter-terrorism advisor, and David Cameron, UK Prime Minister, said on Tuesday that bin Laden must have been had a support network in Pakistan. Whether or not that was the individuals inside of the Pakistani government or is unknown. Mr. Brennan said. Mr. Cameron added, "We don't currently know the extent of that network, so it is right that we ask searching questions." According to Mr. Brennan, bin Laden lived in the compound for 5 or 6 years. Asif al-Zardari, Pakistan's president, defended his country's record on tackling terrorism, saying that allegations that it shielded and sheltered bin Laden were baseless. Some in the US press have suggested that we were disingenuous and actually protected the terrorists we claimed to be pursuing, he wrote in the Washington Post. Pakistan also warned the US against conducting any such unauthorized unilateral action in the future. Pakistan warns the US. That is a direct threat from the bin Laden crime family. But people should rightly fear the President of the United States. And now continue. Agents pick over files retrieved at hideout. The US has retrieved valuable information about Al-Qaeda's plans from Osama bin Laden's compound in Pakistan, and is on the alert for possible revenge attacks in response to the death of its extremist leader. A senior US official said the assault team that killed bin Laden had collected a large amount of data from documents, computers, USB drives and other equipment, and was setting up a task force to analyse the cache. Other officials said that the haul included about 5 computers, 10 hard drives and more than 100 storage devices. These materials could very well produce incredible insights into AlQueada and its affiliates and its plans and intentions. The senior official said. The White House said that the US hoped that while the information collected from the raid would yield information on planned attacks, other high-value targets on the broader Al-Qaeda network itself. So far, it had not received any specific or credible threats of an attack. The official added that the US is already expecting bin Laden to produce a new video or audio message which had been dispatched before Sunday's attack and had been in the pipeline for some time. He said bin Laden, who the US now says died unarmed, but might also have recorded a separate martyrdom video in the style of other Al-Qaeda operatives. Bin Laden has always been the iconic face of Al-Qaeda, the official said, and has a role in some of the operational activity. Had a role. Past tense. He's dead. In recent years, he has appeared more as the chief executive officer than the chief operating officer of the group. That doesn't make him any less dangerous. Indeed, he's a martyr now to the Al-Qaeda believers, I'm sure, in their warped ideology. John Brennan, President Barack Obama's top counter-terrorism advisor, added that the latest information was that bin Laden lived in the compounds in Pakistan for 5 or 6 years, cut off from most of the world, but in contact with senior Al-Qaeda officials. The US has maintained for some time that core Al-Qaeda, the original, Pakistan-based group led by bin Laden, had been put under such pressure by the US drone strikes and other counterintelligence efforts that it was judged unlikely to mount further spectacular attacks in the mould of September 11th, 2001. Instead, US intelligence believed officials labelled the group's Yemen-based affiliate in Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, AlQueada, which specialised in less ambitious plots, as the extremist group most likely to hit the US mainland. We are going to continue to pummel the rest of Al-Qaeda, Mr. Brennan said on Tuesday, adding that the group had taken some severe body blows over the past year. We're going to try to take advantage of this opportunity we have now with the death of Al-Qaeda's leader, Osama bin Laden, to ensure that we're able to destroy that organisation. We're determined to do so, and we believe that we can. Mr. Brennan said that the US was considering whether to issue additional information such as photographs or videos of bin Laden's body, but was aware that such material could provoke an adverse reaction. Jay Carney, White House spokesman, described the photos of bin Laden, who died from a shot in the head, as gruesome. Washington has issued a worldwide travel alert informing US citizens of the enhanced potential for anti-American violence following bin Laden's killing. There is an assessment that Al-Qaeda may feel the need to respond, or a lone crackpot said another US official. There's nothing specific, but it is very appropriate to take precautions. Mr. Carney acknowledged that the initial US account of the raid had contained inaccuracies and made clear that bin Laden had not been armed.